We're going to introduce him as a national champ at the University of Alabama, current member of the offensive line there in Indy, playing in the National Football League. Ron Kelly, welcome back to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I hope you're having a great day.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, absolutely. We just wanted to give you a little Alabama football topic as we're only 100 days out. We've been counting down at 240, so when we get to 100, we feel like we're there.
Yeah, I know everybody in Alabama starts getting that. Their skin starts crawling when those days start flying by, huh?
No doubt, no doubt. Listen, and going back to Santa Clara, we got to remove that sour taste out of our mouth a little bit. We cannot wait to get a hold of Duke.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, man. Every year that I get out, the more I'm removed from the program, the harder it is to follow. I mean, of course, I love Alabama because I played there and had some great memories there. But I mean, I went back, I think a year ago or 2 years ago, and it seems like I don't even know anybody there anymore. So it is kind of crazy. But typical thing. I mean, I'm just so proud of the success that they continue to have. I mean, it's just incredible. The adversity and the coaching changes and all that. So I can't leave it at that, I guess.
100%. Let me ask you, looking back, because you've had a chance to go into the National Football League and have success. When you look back at how Alabama helped you prepare for that moment, to take advantage of that moment, looking back, maybe highlight some things that they did to help you get ready for the NFL.
It's such a different world. I wouldn't say. There's so many things that rush through my mind when you ask that question. And I look back, and I guess probably the most frequent question I get is, how was Saban? Is he tough? Is he a good guy? And that, it made me. I reflect sometimes on just the way he pushed us and the rocks and everything that he turned over every single week to make sure that we were prepared for that week. And it's the same thing here. I mean, at the end of the day, this is our full-time job. We don't have to go to school. We don't have to go to class, all those things. So we have more time and we have more availability and resources to pull information for week-to-week, game plans and stuff. But just what they were able to do in knowledge-wise to go into a single week and just know that, I never went into a week feeling I was unprepared for anything. And so the preparation level, and ultimately that's what you fall back to. I mean, when the lights come on, when the big games are there, there's 100,000 people in Dallas Stadium, and you're playing, the Michigan State Spartans. At the end of the day, it comes down to your preparation, and I always felt like I was more prepared than the guy I was playing against, just based off the fourth quarter program I went through, the week to week, grind of what we went through, and the practice that we had. I mean, they were tough, but not as tough as the next level, but that certainly helped me get to where I am.
Ron, how about the competition when you talk about Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? I mean, sometimes I go out to practice and I watch, All-American against All-American and think about how much that improves your game when you're going up against the best of the best.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you look at Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, man, both first-rounders and, both the Redskins, and then you're playing against those guys on Sunday as well. But, you look at, I remember when Deron Payne first came in, he was a young guy. I think it was my senior year is when he first came in, and you could tell he didn't have the knowledge and all the mistakes that you've learned when you're 18, 19, 20, to where I was at 22. And I feel like I had that edge on him. And then now you see him at the next level, and it's like, okay, well, that guy's learned all those things that he had to do, and that comes from trial and error of going through practice, going through fourth quarter and just hitting each other every single day. And, ultimately you can't do those things at the next level. We have rules against that, but I think those are the building blocks and the foundation of what can get you to the next level is what you learn and what could, all the hardships you have to go through in college to get there.
We're talking to Ryan Kelly, a member of the Colts organization, former Alabama, 3-time national champ at the University of Alabama. That's even hard to say. I mean, that's more – you have more in the years that you played here than a lot of other schools have total in the entire history. 3-time national champ. I want to go back to Barrett Jones. How did he help you get ready to take over that responsibility of being the next center at Alabama and an award winner, as we kind of consecutive award winners there at that position?
Yeah, and I try to talk to Barrett whenever I can. Obviously, just the more you get removed from football and life starts happening, things try to get a little crazy. But sure. I saw him not too long ago, and I get actually asked that a decent amount. Just Barrett transitioned from team to team in the NFL, so I played with guys that have known him throughout his way. And he helped me tremendously. I mean, and at the end of the day, William Blaos and Barrett Jones probably helped me the most. And not because I tried to emulate my style based off what they did. I just, because they were two very different players, and I'm also I'm also very different from what they have. Some guys have elite skills, talent, or whatever it is, and some guys have to do with what they have. So, I learned really how to prepare. A center is such a different position on the offensive line. You really are working, hand in hand with the quarterback, and obviously at this level, it's even magnified, 10 times over. So, both of those guys have really helped me tremendously to grow on the field and off the field as well. The way they handle themselves to the media, the way, they do the stuff in the community as well. But, just tremendous guys. Learn the game from them a lot, and that's really where you learn the base value of, what a defense is. What is a 3-4? What is a 4-3? Because things you don't learn in high school. And so, you obviously you build on those type of things as you get older and older and you see more football. But tremendous guys, can't say enough about them, and really helped me learn a long.
We're talking to Ryan Kelly. Ryan, what is this time of the offseason? Or were you one of those guys that you try to get away from football because you got a little bit of a break between, the spring semester and summer one? What can an offensive lineman do this time of the year to get ready? Or was this one of the times that you took a rare advantage to maybe get away from football a little bit, going back to your college days?
I would. I always took the month of May, and every school does it a little bit differently. I really respected Alabama, and I think it just goes to show you exactly what Nick knows to work. You go through spring ball, you bust your ass, and you're just looking for that month of May, man. It's a great time to get away. I used to always go back to Ohio. I spent 3-4 weeks there, and now at the same time I'm training because I know as soon as I get back, Cochran's going to be hounding me. It's going to be 40% humidity or higher than what I was used to in Ohio. So I got to get myself ready for those 110s and all the endurance challenging stuff that you had to do. And I think you just rise to the occasion. I look back at it now, and I think you have to honestly just, it's so tough in the moment. Like you have to be kind of young, like when I was 18, 19, I didn't know any better. Like, I don't know if I could go back now and do the same thing, but in those 3 to 4 weeks, you're having a great time. Your buddies are back from college. You're hanging out with them too and seeing your family. Because once June starts, you might have a weekend at the end of June, and then July, you're in the full swing of it. So I think it's obviously, the more I look back at it, it's the best way to do it is to give guys time off in May, let them build back up June and July, then you hit the ground running in August, and then you're in the season. So.
Hey, let me ask you about Andrew Luck. We see him from a distance. My wife is actually from that state, and so I have a little bit of personal ties back to the Colts, and been around that fan base, man. They're a passionate fan base. It's a lot of fun from that state, kind of going and supporting the Colts there in Indy. But looking at the face and Andrew Luck in the face of the franchise there, talk about what's it been like to be able to get to know him.
It's been awesome. I was around some really, really great quarterbacks in college. It's just, when this is your profession and this is what you do every day, everything talent-wise is magnified, and it's just every detail is even bigger. So, I thought I knew football when I got to the NFL. I was like, I played under I played under a bunch of different systems. I played under Pro Style. I played under the Kiffin, which was kind of a hybrid. And I thought I knew football until I got here, and that's when I was really understanding that, there's, that was just the very, very top of the icing. I mean, there was an entire cake below that of stuff that I needed to learn. And a lot of it I learned through Andrew, just, being with him every single day on the field. And the first thing that I ever remember was really impressive to me was the accuracy of guys in the NFL's throws. I mean, Andrew was right on the money. He could weave it in between two guys and somehow make the catch. And it was just, I couldn't believe it. So I would say for sure, just it's the knowledge of game. It's the knowledge of how do we self-scout ourselves so that when they're watching our film, they're not picking up on ties on us, and how do we study their film? So it's a back and forth chess game, and I was really, really blown away when I first got here, and every single day since. And we've built a relationship over time, and that obviously took game experience and off the field experience to hang out and do all those things, but. Just couldn't say enough great things about the guy.
All right, Ryan, and I know I've only got a couple of minutes. Got to get you off and to get you back to your responsibility for the Colts. But when you look at Nick Saban and you hear this talk, I want to get your first initial reaction when you hear Nick Saban, because we hear this all the time, and we read these stupid articles about Nick Saban's getting old and the game is, he's slowing down and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, man, you guys are so much idiots, but you played for this guy. When you hear that type of stuff, what's the first thing that goes through your mind when you hear the Nick Saban verbiage? He's getting old, he's slowing down, and different things like that.
That's a tough one, because aren't you guys the media? So are you sure you're not the ones that are writing that stuff?
No, I'm not. No, listen. I'm the guy that's trying to counter all this negativity because, see, I did this a couple of weeks ago. I said, when we talk about Nick Saban and outlasting anybody in the SEC, I flipped the question. I said, who's going to outlast Nick Saban in the SEC? Which coach out there is going to make it past Nick Saban? I don't see one out there.
Absolutely. And when going back to what I said before, when people ask me about Nick Saban, in my time at Tuscaloosa and that, I haven't been back in probably 2 years, and it's just tougher to get back as time goes on. But I can only imagine Tuscaloosa has changed tenfold since I was there. I mean, you look at what he's contributed to the city, how many lives he's changed throughout his charity, through Nick's kids, all these things that he does. Yes, is he an incredible football coach? Has he won more games than, I don't know. I don't know the stats on him. He's an incredible background and an incredible football guy. But at the end of the day, I know more guys who are better off now that they're in their 20s, and then they're creeping up on their 30s, and they have real life stuff going on. Guys who are more set because they played for him, not because they had a really personal friendship relationship with him, because none of us did. I mean, I played for the guy for 5 years. When I come back, he's asked how I'm doing, how's my family doing, but at the end of the day, I think he understands that he's going to try to get the most out of us. At the same time, we're going to try to get the most out of the university. So I know this wasn't really answering the question about how long he's going to last, but at the end of the day, if he retired tomorrow, I think he would still be beloved in the state. I think that he would go down as the greatest football coach in history. But I guess that's just going to be, at least he'll give us something to write about, for the next, I don't know, however long it is. So, I just can't say enough about the guy.
Well, he's awesome, and he's changed this culture. I've been covering Alabama football 19 years here in Tuscaloosa, and watching this place develop, and he's changed the culture. Listen, we won a lot of games before his arrival, but he took Alabama to the next level. This is the greatest dynasty in the history of collegiate sports, maybe the sports ever, when we talk about 5 out of 10 years, and you were a huge part of that. Ryan, thank you so much for spending a couple of minutes with us here in T-Town, man. It's great we could be able to catch up and talk some Alabama football. Thank you for being a part of our show.
All right, guys. I appreciate you having me, and hope we talk soon, or maybe I'll come down to Tuscaloosa and see you guys. All right.
Hey, I just had a guy to send me a tweet, said he needs to see you at the Bryant Museum very, very soon. So swing by. These Alabama fans love you down here, man. Thank you again.
All right, man. You guys have a good one. I'll see you.